Um, the feast is called Epiphany. And do you know also that that's Greek? We use the phrase, that's Greek to me. Well, that's Greek to you. It means to show forth. And so today's feast is to let us know again, as you probably do know, that Jesus did not just come for the Jewish people or the people of his own little area. He came for the whole wide world, right up to this January 8th in Avon Lake, St. Joseph's Parish. So he came for you. So make it your own, make it personal. These men have different names. They're kings and they're magi's and wise men and all that. What we do know is that they are powerful and they are rich and they're curious because they've been told that somewhere this special king or Messiah or somebody is going to be born. And we don't go into the rationale of that star and all that stuff. We put all that over there and say somehow they found him. And when they come together, it's a wonderful contrast because they're rich and he's poor. They're powerful and he is a little baby. He's powerless. I mean, when you think God would do that, he did. And so they come and they have some kind of faith, some kind of belief. And I don't know that they knew that he was divine or anything, but they knew he was really special. And that's why they, bowed down and so on, almost adored him. And they believed. They don't believe like you and I do, in our Lord's walking on the water or multiplying the loaves or bringing a child back to life or things like that, or his own passion, death, and resurrection. These things hadn't happened yet. That's not what they believed. They just believed he was really something special, and they were excited to find him. So let's extract one more time some meaning from this event. And I have chosen 3 things to dwell on. First of all, you have faith and you are searching, aren't you? No matter what, that's the way we're made. We're always searching. And even if we have found God, we want to know him better. So we're always on the prowl. We're always searching, whether you're 10 or 80 or whatever. We're always on the search. And God likes that. And he wants us to keep finding him again and again. And so it is your belief that brings you here, degrees of faith, whatever it is, that brings you here. And a hope that you leave happy that you came and filled up for one more time with God's life and love. The second point is that Jesus came for everybody. That's very important for us. He came for everybody, just like that sun covers the whole world. The sun is always a symbol of me, of God, and all that he created. He didn't just create, for this group or for Indiana or for France or so. He's here for all the world. And boy, if religion could ever get that over to people, wouldn't it be grand? Because so much of our trouble in the world is bad religion. Instead of it uniting us and making us happy and hopeful and loving, it divides. I know, and I'm baptized, and I'm this, and I'm that, and you aren't. Instead of it uniting us, so often it divides us. I'm Catholic and you're not, and all that foolishness. And so let's be sure that we realize that God, who created everybody, is in love with everybody, and he wants all the world to know. He will tell us later on, when this little baby grows up, you remember the line? He says, in my kingdom, and he is a king, in my kingdom, there is neither male nor female. There's neither rich nor poor. There's neither master or slave. There's neither Greek nor Roman. It's everybody. And the beauty of it is that God can create such a variety of people all over this world for all these generations. And so St. Paul also tells us in Timothy, this is very important for you to understand this or to believe it. God desires all men and women to be saved. And so if you have that prejudicial kind of faith that I'm right and you're wrong, I'm saved and you aren't, which is so popular, in religious belief and on television, even today, don't you listen to that crap. That ain't true. He loves everybody. Why wouldn't he? He loves everybody he made. And so he loves, be sure you know how he loves you, though. Be sure you know that. Never doubt that. Is it possible that God could have created just white people and not black, or yellow and not brown, or red and not tan? If your figurines at home, which I know they're back in the attic, I know. I never even put mine out. But anyway, the Magi, whatever you want to call them, are supposed to have different complexions to make this point clear, that he came for all races and all kinds of people. You can't believe, can you, that Jesus just came for Catholics and not Lutherans, or Protestants and not Muslims, or for Jews and not Buddhists? See, the wonder of our faith is that it's so expansive, so extensive, it's so all-inclusive. And that's what God wants, the whole world to get along. And even though it seems far from now, doesn't it? It still is in our hope. And year by year, we keep trying to make it so. Do you believe that God just loves Americans and not Chinese, or Indians and not the Poles and not the Germans and the French and the Russian? I grew up in Butler, Pennsylvania. We were not ethnic. I didn't grow up being Irish Catholic. I was just Catholic. And I was an American, that's all. Boy Scout, public high school. I was just one of the kids. But when I got here to Cleveland, got to the seminary, that's when I saw nationalism come up. Even in the seminary, they were sort of competing with each other. The Czechs against the Krauts, those are the Germans, and the Harps were the Irish. They all had names for each other. And really, there was some kind of competition and division in there, because it's Cleveland. So this neighborhood is Polish, and this one is Italian, and this one is... That's fine. That was okay then to get people, comfortable when they came over from Europe. But in my lifetime and in your lifetime, all those things are changing. And we are, whether we are aware of it or not, we're getting to be more one, more homogenized. We're not emphasizing our differences, religious or ethnic or national. But you know what divides people today, don't you? It's not religion. It's not nationality. Dare I say it? Politics, which I'm not going to bring up. I'm not going to... I am not... I'm acting like the president to be. I'm not going there. He has this index figure that's everywhere. So anyway, that's the second point I wanted to make. The other thing is that these Magi were very rich, and they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I don't know what the last two are, but did that Holy Family need help? They didn't have money for diapers, and so they needed money, and God provided it. I don't know how soon they sold the gold or what they got for it, but they had to go to Egypt to escape getting murdered. So I love the providence of God that He gave them money so that they could share it with the less fortunate. And I think sometimes the rich people get a bad deal. You'd think Christ only came for the poor and the sick. He wants everybody like that. I think he's delighted that there's so many Lexuses out there and Cadillacs and all the mansions down here. You're all so rich. At least that's your reputation. I don't know what you give in the collection, but he likes you being rich. I like him being rich. The rich people have helped me to have a better life than I would have on a priest salary, I'll tell you that. And so I'm happy about that. So I'm just going to ask you the question. Do you think you are generous? Are you a generous person? I must say, I try to love everybody, but I sure don't like everybody. And one that I don't like is the tightwad. You know, I have this priest friend. Every time you go there to see him, he left his wallet at home. Yeah. You know, he never has any money. And I like the person that's overspending. You know, what the heck? Hey, tomorrow's another day. Tip that waitress, tip that guy. Be generous, big-hearted. That's Christ to me. Well, maybe you don't have a lot of money to hand out, but I just want to remind you of how very rich you are and the things that you can give to others. And I look for this. I look for it in your personality, in your behavior. Let me just remind you of what you do have to give. You have love. You have warmth. You have hugs. You have words. You have gratitude. You have praise. You have thanks. You have mercy. You have compassion. You have pardon. You have encouragement. This is the one I hope you realize. You have listening. What a gift it is to listen to people. They all want to talk. No one wants to listen. Well, listen. Take it in as long as you can, but then, there's a point when you say, I'm out of here. I heard about your kidneys and your arthritis and your poor mother. I've heard that 1,000 times. You bore me to death. But I'll try to be nice. So those are some of the gifts you have. So the last part of this is you are a child of God, right? You are a child of the universe. Love that phrase. You're just not someone stuck here in Avon Lake. I always boast, and I'm going to do it again. I have been to 96 countries. That's the kind of life God gave me. And I boast because I am so glad that I got to be in other places. You want to celebrate the variety in life and enjoy the different nationalities and the different patterns and the different music and the different theater and their food and their art and their literature and their drama and ethnicity. I hope you are broken out of whatever shell you were born into, and you want to share and know about everything in the world so that you really live a big life, not some narrow little life. I don't go anywhere, I don't know anybody, and I'm a good Irish Catholic boy. That's suffocating to me. So I hope you have a world outlook. I hope you feel that you're dynamic, not static. A lot of marriages end up because I can't spend another decade with you. You bore me to death. You're not allowed to bore to death the people you say you love. So be a full person. Be an interesting person. Be an interested person. Be a person full of vitality and enthusiasm for life. So, like the Magi, keep looking. Keep believing. Keep giving. And have a world outlook. You are a child of the universe. And in my chapel at home, I have this in some little insert. This is a quotation that I like. Celebrities are soon forgotten, but some of you may still remember Irma Bombeck. Because she was funny, I loved her. She was wonderful, just a regular woman. But this is what she said and what I have written on this little card. When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would have not a single bit of talent left, and I could say I used everything you gave me. So with that enthusiasm, I hope you embrace another year, and that 2017 is the best, very best year of your life, but not quite as good as the year 2018.